So Will, Spike Lee's advice for beginning filmmakers, and I saw it last night. He says the most important thing to do is write.
Yeah.
I mean, do you agree with that?
Yeah, well, for starters, pretty much anything Spike Lee says, I agree with. Yeah, I mean, I think the thing about writing, and he probably expounded on that, but it's free. You know, everything else, like, it costs money to make a movie, but I think the best thing you can do is write, because it doesn't cost any money, and it's important. You know, everything starts with the script. So if you understand how to tell a story and the components that takes, that's where everything else comes from. So I think you know, it's the cheapest thing to do, and it's the thing you got to know anyway. So I think it's a great place to start. And I think when you're working on a script, like, that's the most important part, is having things that get you excited about it, because it's such a long process and it's so hard to write a script. So we had things that really got us excited, and it gave us sort of the confidence that we could tell a really cool story with it. So that's kind of how, you know, the whole thing began.
And when you told your actors that you would be filming in scenic Arlington, Texas, how did they feel about that?
I think
where's Arlington?
Yeah, I guess that's them. I think they were excited they came. I don't know.
We had a great time. It was an amazingly perfect location for us to do that.
Yeah, we don't work anyplace else. The weather, the location, you know, it all works.
Yeah. 110 degrees at night.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I was from Arlington, so I was giving them the hard sell on it. I was like, this place is amazing. You know, I was telling them it was like palm trees, and it was like Hawaii in the middle of Texas. And they bit and they came.
There's rockfish, Whataburger, banana.
We don't have Chicken Express in LA, so it's nice to get back and hang out. That's like my favorite place to go when I'm here. Yeah.
So what you guys do, you know, between filming while you were seeing
There was some hazing going on. We got into a lot of trouble. They had to keep tabs on us.
A little trouble.
A little bit of trouble. Dallas and
Good
Arlington
trouble.
ones.
It's the kind of trouble that put us into the headspace of actually being people who would get into trouble.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
That's great. So it was method acting.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Immersion artists.
Yeah, immersion. You just put yourself into the environment and see what comes out.
Right.
Because honestly, that's the easiest way to do it with a big group of people who really had to be brothers in that thing. We had to be all on the same page. So the best way to do it was to cellophane us to a bench and drive us through a car wash and make us fight for the hose. It's covered in peanut butter and ketchup.
A lot of condiments.
Condiments.
Most degrading thing I've ever done in my life. It was beautiful.
Cool. All right, so Lou, your character is flat on his back for a large part of the shoot.
Yeah.
What special, you know, issues did you face in trying to convey it?
Trying not to stick to everything that I touched. I mean, my script was pink because it was just all bloody and messed up. I guess not having a lot of lines in the movie really was hard, and that's why I did it in some ways, because that was the challenge. It was like, how do I get this kid across? How do I make the audience care about this kid, but at the same time add some depth to the character without him having many lines at all? And so Will was very open to a little bit of improv with trying to figure out how to get more lines in there for him, just here and there, just kind of in the middle of all the action and everything that's going on. And we got enough to where I really feel like we have a depth to that character that wasn't written on the page, but now we have.
And John, you get to play the heavy in this film. So what sort of things did you look to put into your role to give him some sort of sympathy, more than just a one-dimensional?
Well, I've been telling other people this too, that, you know, there's when most people do something, it's justifiable in their own mind. You know, they have reasoning for it. So for me, it was just always about making sure that any action that, you know, Frank had, he was making sure that it was for the best intention of everybody else, the rest of his brothers. You know, he was really looking out for everyone, even though it's a really roundabout way of doing it, and even though he was executing in a very harsh, manipulative, mean-spirited way. In Frank's eyes, it wasn't. It was about nobody else is capable of handling the situation, and there's a brother that's injured, and how do we make sure that we don't get in trouble for this and that he ends up okay? But within that process, you have somebody who's just an animal, you know, just a being